The Nexarian training facility hummed with the low-frequency vibrations that kept their crystalline bones from fracturing under standard gravity. Captain Vextar observed the interspecies combat trials from his elevated platform, his 4 arms crossed in satisfaction, as his subordinates demonstrated their superiority over the newer species admitted to the Galactic Defense Coalition. Cadet Marcus Rodriguez stumbled backward as Lieutenant Krell's chitinous fist connected with his solar plexus. The human was one of only 12 from Earth selected for the elite program, their planet having joined the coalition merely 3 cycles ago. Most senior officers considered humans a curiosity at best, soft-bodied bipeds from a gravity-heavy world with laughably short lifespans. Again! Krell hissed through his translator, his insected features twisted in what passed for amusement among his kind. The Nexarians had been coalition members for over 2 centuries, their exoskeletons and redundant organ systems making them formidable warriors. Marcus wiped blood from his split lip and raised his fists again. At 19 standard years, he was considered barely more than a larva by coalition standards, but his brown eyes held a determination that made some of the watching aliens uneasy. The combat ring was surrounded by cadets from dozens of species, the methane-breathing Vortak in their environmental suits, the energy-based Leminians flickering between visible and ultraviolet spectra, and the massive Goliathans whose stone-like skin could deflect plasma bolts. Krell lunged forward with inhuman speed, his razor-sharp mandibles clicking. He grabbed Marcus's left hand and twisted viciously. The sharp crack of breaking bone echoed through the facility's bioacoustic dampeners. Marcus screamed. The sound was unlike anything most species present had ever heard. Raw, primal, and somehow more unsettling than the death songs of Vortak warriors or the harmonic wails of dying Luminians. It was the sound of a creature that had evolved on a world where pain meant survival, where injury triggered not surrender but fury. Pathetic, Captain Vextar announced, his voice amplified through the facility's speakers. Humans break as easily as... He never finished the sentence. Marcus moved. Later, xenobiologists would debate what exactly happened in those 3.7 seconds. The facility's high-speed cameras captured every frame, but the movement seemed to violate several known principles of physics. One moment Marcus was cradling his broken finger, and the next he was somehow behind Krell, who outweighed him by 40 kilograms and possessed reflexes clocked at 0.03 seconds. The human's uninjured hand found the gap where Krell's exoskeleton met his cervical vertebrae, a weakness no coalition manual had ever mentioned because it was considered impossible to exploit in real-time combat. Marcus's fingers pressed with surgical precision. Krell's mandibles stopped clicking. The lieutenant collapsed like a marionette with severed strings, his nervous system severed at the precise point where signals from his brain reached his body. He would live, but he would never move again. Before the watching cadets could process what had happened, Marcus vaulted over the fallen Nexarian and launched himself at the platform where Captain Vextar stood. The captain's 4 arms moved to intercept, but Marcus seemed to anticipate every motion with impossible accuracy. The human shoulder connected with Vextar's thorax, driving him backward into the reinforced wall. The impact cracked the captain's crystalline spine in 7 places. As Vextar slumped to the deck, his respiratory slits wheezing, Marcus landed in a crouch, his broken finger already swelling, but his eyes still burning with that terrifying focus. Silence filled the training facility. Commander Thos, the facility's Vortak director, slowly approached the ring. His environmental suit speakers crackled as he activated the universal translator. How? He asked simply. Marcus straightened, still cradling his injured hand. On Earth, we call it adrenaline, he said quietly. When we're hurt, when we're angry, our bodies produce a chemical that makes us faster, stronger, and completely willing to die if it means taking you with us. Most species evolve past such primitive responses. He looked around at the stunned faces of his fellow cadets. Humans didn't. The silence stretched until Commander Thos finally spoke again. Report to medical for that finger, Cadet Rodriguez. Training is suspended for today. As Marcus walked toward the exit, whispers followed him in a dozen languages. Word would spread quickly through the coalition fleet. Humans were fragile, yes. They broke easily. But when they broke everything else too.